Alright, so I just got back from watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the latest in this, well, now trilogy of movies that could have started off really badly with the ugly Sonic design, and then they pivoted, delayed the movie for the better, and now it's beloved by lots of different people. So, quick background, I have seen the first two Sonic films and this one now, but I am by no means a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I did not play any of the video games. I still have not. I have not seen any of the shows. The animated shows from the 90s or the 80s, I believe. I know the characters' names. I've, watched YouTube videos of people talking about Sonic, but I'm very much a fringe. I have a fringe awareness of the Sonic franchise. I have no real nostalgia for it. I don't, feel a special attachment to any of these characters. And I feel like that has really affected my opinion of these movies because I think they're fine. They're not anything spectacular. I don't lose my mind over them or anything like that. They're just competently made kids' movies. And there's a couple of jokes, especially in this one, that really irritated me because of how lame they were. But for a lot of people, that doesn't matter because it's Sonic and they're doing the character justice as far as I can tell, and that's enough for them. It's not enough for me, but I am willing to admit that these aren't terrible movies. They're fine, and this one is just as fine as the first two. If I were a kid, I would probably love these movies. These would be the most epic movies I've ever seen. I would think they're spectacular. But I'm not a kid. I've seen movies that I like better, so I don't have that nostalgia factor going for me. So I just think Sonic is annoying. That might be sacrilegious. I don't know. Maybe Sonic fans think Sonic is annoying. I don't know. I really don't know. But I think he's annoying in these movies. Maybe he's not as bad in the games. I don't know. I like Knuckles. Shadow's pretty cool. I like Tails. I like everybody except Sonic. He's worse in the first two. He's not dropping as many cringe references or anything like that in this movie, but it's still really cringy a lot of times. Jim Carrey's really good. He's always good. It's good to see Jim Carrey here. I do think the plot of this movie is a little bit of a repeat of the first one where, sorry, not the first one, the second one. Because in the second one we had Knuckles, who was deceived by Jim Carrey's Robotnik and was fighting against Sonic until they realized that they actually aren't enemies, they should be friends, and they connect over sort of shared or similar trauma in their past and become friends. And I don't want to spoil anything, and it's not exactly the same, but if you've seen the trailers of this movie and you think, this is kind of like what happened with Knuckles in the second movie. It is a lot like what happened with Knuckles in the second movie. I do think this one is more dramatic, though, than the second movie. It's a lot more dramatic. The fight scenes are a lot better. The soundtrack is really good. I do think this movie ends on a very high note. I enjoyed the third act of this movie a lot more than I enjoyed the middle chunk of the movie, the second act. The second act was a slog to get through for me. Oh boy. But it starts strong, and it ends strong, and the middle for me was just real boring. But that's a whole 2/3 of the movie there that I thought were pretty good. So I think 2/3 of this movie is pretty good. So yeah, Keanu Reeves is great as Shadow. I have to mention that. And there's a fun little Keanu Reeves Easter eggs that they put in there. I don't know. I don't really have strong feelings for this franchise. I don't know if this is the best of the three, but it's definitely the most epic of the three, and I think this will make this a lot of people's favorite. But for me, I see all three movies as the same. They're fine. They're not really for me. I don't think I'd ever watch them again, but I don't hate them, so there's that. If you are a Sonic fan or you have little kids and you want to show them a movie that will just blow their minds if they haven't been to the movies before, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a great option. So if that interests you, you can go ahead and check it out.